Respect is something we all crave, but not everyone knows how to earn it without demanding or pleading. I've always been fascinated by the silent aura of people who seem to naturally command respect in any room they walk into. They're not arrogant, and they don't force others to look up to them. Instead, their actions speak for themselves. Over the years, I've noticed certain behaviors these individuals share, habits that consistently build trust, admiration, and ultimately, respect. So, let's jump right in and explore 8 behaviors of people who never have to beg for respect, no matter who they're dealing with. They keep their word and follow through. Few things command respect as much as consistency between one's words and actions. When people promise something and then actually deliver, it shows they're dependable and true to their commitments. This is often rooted in a sense of personal integrity, doing what you said you'd do, even when nobody's watching, or when it becomes inconvenient. In my early days as a digital marketing consultant, I quickly learned that clients valued me more once I showed I was someone who followed through. I remember pulling a few late nights to meet crucial deadlines because I had given my word. Yes, it was tiring, but the goodwill and respect I earned were worth it. The truth is, if you can't honor your commitments, your credibility suffers. People quickly pick up on whether they can rely on you or not. Conversely, keeping your promises? No matter how small, cements a reputation for reliability. And that's exactly the kind of reputation that commands respect in any environment. They listen actively and show empathy. Have you ever been in a conversation where you could tell the other person was just waiting for their turn to talk? It feels like you're not truly being heard. People who never have to beg for respect do the exact opposite. They listen with full attention and offer empathy. Respect naturally arises when you make others feel understood. That doesn't mean you have to agree with every opinion or viewpoint. Instead, it's about acknowledging the other person's perspective and showing genuine interest in what they have to say. Gary Vaynerchuk once said, "You have to understand your own personal DNA. Don't do things because I do them, or Steve Jobs or Mark Cuban tried it. You need to know your personal brand and stay true to it." I find a parallel here. Just like understanding our own DNA is crucial for authenticity, understanding someone else's perspective fosters empathy. When you truly listen and acknowledge people's experiences, they feel valued. In return, you earn a form of respect that doesn't need to be requested. It's simply given because you've shown consideration and genuine care. They remain calm and poised in conflict. People who command respect often have a certain calmness when friction arises. They don't resort to yelling, insults, or defensive maneuvers when things get tough. Instead, they take a breath, assess the situation, and respond thoughtfully. I've mentioned this before, but staying level-headed in tense moments is a skill that saved me numerous times when I worked under tight deadlines. I recall a meeting when multiple stakeholders disagreed. Emotions ran high, and it felt like the meeting was about to derail. By staying calm, rephrasing everyone's concerns, and working to find common ground, I not only helped diffuse the tension, but also earned the respect of my peers. It was clear that knee-jerk reactions and emotional outbursts do little more than add fuel to the fire. This is also backed by experts like Simon Sinek, who has noted that true leaders understand the power of composure. When you demonstrate you can handle pressure without losing your cool, you send a powerful message. You are in control of yourself, and by extension, you're someone worth listening to. They know their boundaries and respect others. Saying no is one of the hardest skills to master, especially if you're someone who naturally wants to please others. But here's the thing. People respect those who have a clear sense of what's acceptable to them and what isn't. It signals self-worth and confidence, two elements that draw respect organically. I learned this the hard way. There was a phase when I felt obligated to say yes to every request, be it a new project or a friend wanting help at the last minute. Eventually, I was stretched too thin. I realized that without setting boundaries, I was not only risking burnout, but also losing respect. Why? Because when you can't stand up for your own limits, people subconsciously start taking you for granted. The flip side is also true. Individuals who treat others' boundaries with the same level of respect they want for themselves are seen as thoughtful and considerate. They ask before intruding on someone's personal space or time. They show up on schedule, respecting their colleagues' or friends' time. It's a simple rule. Respect breeds respect. And by having clear boundaries for yourself and honoring those of others, you naturally earn credibility and admiration. They take accountability without making excuses. We all mess up. Maybe you missed a deadline, said something insensitive, or simply failed to deliver on expectations. The difference between people who maintain respect and those who don't lies in how they deal with their mistakes. When you own up to an error and focus on how to fix it, you send a strong message about your character. People trust you more because they see you're not interested in passing the buck or hiding under blame shifting. It's about saying, I made a mistake. Here's what I'm doing to correct it, rather than pointing fingers or deflecting. Dale Carnegie famously said, any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do. Instead of complaining or condemning, those who consistently earn respect look within and evaluate how they could have handled things better. They don't dwell on the guilt, but they do address it head-on. By tackling problems with transparency and a solutions-focused mindset, you establish yourself as trustworthy. And trust is foundational to respect. They show consistency in their character. Consistency in character can be summed up as, who you are in private is who you are in public. There's something inherently respectable about someone whose values remain the same, regardless of who's around or what they're doing. Think about it. If your friend treats you kindly, but you notice them being rude to a server at a restaurant, doesn't that shift your perception? People who command respect naturally are usually those who don't flip-flop based on convenience or the status of the person they're dealing with. They treat the CEO and the intern with equal courtesy. From a psychological perspective, consistency builds predictability. When people know what to expect from you, they feel secure around you. They're more likely to trust your actions and your words, and as any psychologist will confirm, trust is a cornerstone of healthy relationships, professional or personal. With trust comes a higher degree of respect, because people see you as dependable and genuine. They remain humble and treat everyone with dignity. Humility might seem like a soft trait, but in reality, it's one of the strongest qualities to have if you want genuine respect. It's easy to be kind to people you consider important, but how do you treat those who seemingly can't do anything for you? I've traveled a fair amount, and one memory that stands out is visiting a coffee farm in Central America. The local farmers were incredibly hospitable. They had far less material wealth than most travelers, yet they treated every guest with dignity and kindness. Their humility earned not just my respect, but also my admiration. They were confident in who they were and saw no reason to act superior or insecure. People who lead with humility understand that respect isn't about ego-stroking or name-dropping. It's about acknowledging everyone's inherent worth. When you show genuine kindness and empathy across the board, others see that you're grounded in something deeper than just showy displays of success. They offer help and guidance without expecting anything in return. Last but not least, individuals who never have to beg for respect are often the first to lend a hand when they see someone struggling. They share knowledge, resources, and emotional support without keeping score. There's a certain authenticity in giving freely that resonates with people on a profound level. In digital marketing, I noticed that the professionals who were most respected were the ones who openly shared their insights and tips, no strings attached. They weren't afraid that helping someone else would diminish their own value. Instead, they believed in creating a collaborative environment where everyone could thrive. That generosity signaled confidence and a sense of abundance rather than scarcity. Research from various organizational psychology studies shows that a culture of reciprocity fosters higher trust and loyalty among teams. When you consistently give, you create an atmosphere of mutual respect that benefits everyone. Of course, it's crucial to maintain boundaries and avoid letting yourself be exploited. But when balanced well, generosity is a powerful magnet for respect. Putting it all together. Commanding respect isn't about dominating conversations or imposing your will on others. It's about quiet strength, integrity, empathy, and a genuine desire to uplift those around you. Here at DM News, we believe that these 8 behaviors, keeping your word, listening with empathy, maintaining composure, setting boundaries, taking accountability, being consistent, staying humble, and being generous, are powerful tools. They transform casual acquaintances into loyal advocates and make daily interactions more meaningful.